CrossFaded, 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 CrossFaded. Yeah. So another situation on the horizon that literally has people shaking in their boots is the return of Freaknik, and not the return in terms of they're having another show, but the return as in not another show but another event, but as in the return of it being a series on Hulu. The Freaknik goers of that time are shaking in their boots. They're afraid, and I will tell you why. And it's actually hilarious, because this was a time when events could be buck wild. And this is before social media, so there's no social media responsibility. There's no there's no online governing of uh a lot of extracurricular activities. All right, so this is pretty significant. They're going back in time, and they're going back in time through the lens of people's cameras, people that were out there breaking out video cameras and were out there in the streets. Freaknik, if you don't know about it, was a very popular Southern event that took place in Atlanta, and um, similar to Black Expo from where I'm from, but just even more gaudy and even more populated. Freaknik was an event that took place in the streets, and people met up in the streets, and people, club went and bar hopped, and it was just party in the streets. Most of the party, even though clubs were jumping and there was bar hopping, and most of the partying ethic of it was in the streets. And we talking about, just ass in the streets, twerking in the streets. It was going down. Freaknik was something that I had always wanted to be a part of and go to, but I was too young. It was out of my timeline as far as just in uh my opportunity to go. I didn't get the opportunity. I was too young. This is an event that I believe is I want to say somewhere around 94, 94. I want to say. So yeah, it's about 94. And um yeah, man, people was in the streets, just like you see this dude right here. This dude is, you know with draws on, Freaknik 90 is 96, 96. This particular Freaknik is in 96, as you can see. So and look at this. This is how it was, man. Little chick with the drop top, booty shaking, booty out. The brother, he in there, he done jumped in the car, he dancing with her. They got themselves a couple of buds, got them sipping. My big brother, man, was going to this stuff, man. Corey, shout out to my big brother Corey, which is also 1/3 of our street advocate team out in Florida. But he was participating heavily in this. Hey dog, I don't know if you ever got to go to this, or you and B Right and D Mac, but this is how it was, and I found a really good site to kind of take y'all down some visuals to see. Look at this street. Look at these folks in the streets. This is Atlanta, y'all. And as you see, the traffic is bumper to bumper. You see the bodies, just all standing out all around. You know what I mean? Just, man, it was going down, boy. And this is probably 1995, 96. I'm looking at the dude's shoes. It look like some old Rodmans. I can't tell, but it's about 96, like 95. I mean, man, it's going down. Look, it make me want to be there right now. Look at that, man. Dang. So But this lady right here was a lady who really garnered a lot of attention. This young lady, it was on TikTok, and she appears to be a professional, um, and she appears to be some kind of in the medical field. But she was extremely worried, and she expresses that in this video. Let's see if it'll play.
Y'all, I don't know. We might be in trouble. Did y'all see Hulu is about to release a documentary about 94 Freaknik? Yes. 1994 Freaknik. Yes. They are about to release a documentary. So I'm just now I've been to several Freakniks. 94 was one that I attended.
Several.
So I'm just praying that Jesus be a fence. I'm praying that Jesus just be a big, tall privacy fence. That's my prayer. This Easter, this Good Friday. That's my prayer. So I will say this though. I will say this. Like when they would bring out those video cameras and start recording, I immediately removed myself from the that situation. I never ever was okay with being recorded out there. So hopefully that worked to my benefit, but you never know. You never know. So the only thing I got is if you see your girl in the documentary, hey man, at least I'm fully clothed. At least all my clothes is on. That's all I got. That's the best I got. But yeah, y'all, they about to put our business out in the street. Some of us might be on TV. So get your parental controls together. And I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
So yeah, that TikTok got real popular and over the last couple of days. And I said to myself when I seen this with Shu, because she was like, I had all my clothes on and I got out the way of the camera. So I'm like, well, shoot, if your booty wasn't out and you had you was conservative about it, what you worried about, but at the same time, man, she was a kid then, and could have been doing whatever and got caught on camera. So shout out to her though for having the courage to, kind of uh I guess kind of get ahead of the issue before it's an issue. If she ends up being, on the camera. So I think that would definitely like a politician would do. That's called getting ahead of the issue before it's an issue. So shout out to the young lady. But yeah, folks are worried. I called my brother today, and I said, man, I want to talk to you about Freaknik, man. They're getting ready to drop an episode, and he was like, yeah. He said, shit, I hope they ain't got me on the camera. He said, man, because I went a couple years. So, and that's the kind of stuff that folks are kind of worried about because, um, there was cameras everywhere, and back in that time, people just had VHSs. So this was stuff that was just getting put on VHS tape and slapped in somebody's VCR at the crib, and you could go and have some memories. But now folks then gathered their VHS tapes and then sent them bad boys off to some kind of you know Hulu creator or Hulu representative rather or producer, and it then materialized and then brought things to the masses now. So now we get to see actual Freaknik content, you know. So it's kind of crazy, but you know, there's a lot to be said. You could say, folks, need to, you know, that's why you don't do shit, out in public, XYZ. Man, everybody did something in public one time or another, man. So I'm not gonna say that, because nobody's perfect, especially somebody like that lady who probably was in her early 20s and was in the streets of Atlanta during one of the greatest black party events, ever created. So I'm not gonna hold that against her, and nor should any employment, um, vendors and anybody else, that has the opportunity to, you know, hurt somebody, by firing them or, whatever, don't hold somebody's past when they were a kid against them. Because that's all Freaknik was about. And Freaknik was one of the few events in Black party history where we were getting along. Like it's the 90s, and you didn't have to worry about getting shot. You didn't have to worry about coming back home dead. Niggas was driving back home dead and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in today's events and in other events, but not Freaknik. Freaknik, whenever I heard about it, I saw Freaknik t-shirts. I saw people having a good time. I saw, just good stuff, and it made you want to be there. It made you want to be a part of it. And, being a young Black boy in that time, um, and you got an older sibling, you just really want to, follow in that older sibling's footsteps, and you really want to do, the stuff that sibling does, and you really want to be cool like that older sibling, and that's the that's what I took back from the event as to how my brother felt about it and why he went multiple times, and why we was all going, as far as young Black folks in that time. So don't hold that against them folks, employers, um and other individuals, because today's uh judgment metrics are it- are utilized through social media. Today they like to look at what your content looks like on social media, who you talk to, and the stuff you post, and then they determine if you're savory or not, or they determine if you're someone they want to deal with or not, you know. And there's no way in hell that you should be judging people today of, you know, character content, dealing with, one of the greatest parties of all times back in the 90s. Like, let people live, you know what I mean? And let them have their memories. Let them watch this Hulu documentary, man, with, the good, memories and the good feeling in their gut. That's that good feeling Freaknik used to give you. I would hear about Freaknik, and I would be thinking about Disneyland, man, all the booty and all the, just the drop tops and the dancing and the congested streets, and even the shirts. The shirt, I remember the shirts like yesterday. They looked like a Good Times record on people's shirts. That's how. And you remember Good Times, how they had the cartoon people and the good and the dude in the end. That's how the Freaknik shirt looked. The girls bent over and the dude. Good Times. You know what I mean? So don't take that from people, man. It's tough today, and we got so much to take. It robs us of so much joy. Get off our nuts as a culture. Funny how uh, American businesses and politics find a lot of things to play against the Black community, and this is another thing. This lady shouldn't be panicking. For something that was 25 years ago, that was just something as simple as dancing. You know, get up off our nuts, man. It's the Freaknik, man. One of the greatest events of all time. We'll come over to the comments. Maul Thomas says, "Good afternoon, Omega. We're happy to see your handsome face." Thank you, lady. Totally agree with you. And Lizzo says she's definitely a big dummy. Shaking my head. I don't know, Lizzo. I heard you was out there at the Freaknik. Didn't they say she was out there? They did. Yeah, he was out there. And Lizzo was out there. She was about 13 years old at the Freaknik. That's just what I heard. But correct me if I'm wrong. Put it in the comments. uh, and A Dog 94, 96. Okay. So did you go, A Dog? No, he missed out. He said I missed out. on them. I always wanted to go, but I was in the streets, and that was the time. But they moved from Atlanta and started back up in Myrtle Beach. Did it? Oh wow! I know it wasn't the same. I know it wasn't the same. Uh, yes, Maul Thomas. Yeah, big bro was out there, mama. He was out there in the streets. Yeah. And he just snitched on Quay. I don't really think it's snitching. But yeah, it probably is snitching. Yeah. Yeah, he sure did. First of all, I was talking about your big dummy of the week. Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, okay. Thought you was talking about Freaknik. My bad. To apologize to our PA Lizzo, man, because and she said I too missed out on Freaknik. I heard Lizzo was out there at about 12. He's one of the youngest and up and coming, Freaknik stars. And I heard she was out there about 13 years old in the streets. So put it in the comments if you saw Lizzo out there in the streets. Although not gonna lie, if I had a ride, I probably would have been there. Me too. I would have been there too. Yeah. Um. Okay, but yeah, man, give the folks a break. Freaknik, man, Hulu. Shout out to another huge black event being brought to the masses once again. You notice a commonality with these cable networks and these movie platforms. You never can get enough of black content, and they love to reach back in history and regurgitate a lot of that, because they know black viewership is important. Who's gonna come and watch the Freaknik series? Who's gonna be the ones to get them views into the company that counts them views? What's I forgot their names. But yeah, who's gonna be the ones that gets Hulu all that attention and watches that series? It's not gonna be white people, Come on. So, shout out to the Freaknik goers. Yeah, man. Dude. Crossfaded, 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 crossfaded.